It's Friday night. You've got 48 glorious hours of freedom stretched out before you. You spend the first 2 of them in the same endless loop, scrolling through Netflix, Crunchyroll, Prime Video, trapped in a paradox of choice. Sound familiar? Well, stop scrolling, because today we are your saviors. We're giving you the definitive battle-tested list of top 10 short anime you can not only start this weekend, but actually finish. These aren't just short shows, these are perfectly crafted narrative injections designed to hijack your brain for 48 hours and leave you feeling completely satisfied. So grab your snacks, silence your phone, and get ready to lose a weekend. Let's dive in. At number 10, Toradora. Kicking off our list is the undisputed king of rom-coms that will trick you into having a full-blown emotional crisis. Toradora, 25 episodes. It's on the longer side of our list, but trust me, you'll burn through it. The premise sounds simple. Ryuji, a gentle giant who looks like a delinquent, and Taiga, a tiny girl with the ferocity of a tiger, teams up to help each other get with their respective crushes. Classic high school shenanigans, right? Wrong. So wrong. The binge factor here is the emotional undertow. You think you're watching a lighthearted comedy, but the show is masterfully building some of the most realistic, flawed, and deeply human characters you will ever see. Every cliche high school event, the beach trip, the school festival, is a Trojan horse for a devastating character development. You won't be able to stop watching, not because of cliffhangers, but because you'll have become so invested in these messes of human beings that leaving them would feel like a betrayal. It's a slow burn that erupts into an emotional wildfire. You can watch this masterclass in character writing on Crunchyroll, Tubi, and Prime Video. At number 9, we have Vivi Fluorite Eyes Song. Coming in at number 9, we have a show that crams an entire century's worth of story into a perfect 13-episode package. Vivi Fluorite Eyes Song. The premise: Vivi is the world's first autonomous AI created to sing and make people happy. Her career is interrupted by a loudmouth AI from 100 years in the future who tells her that AI are about to wipe out humanity. And she's the only one who can stop it. Think the Terminator, but Arnold is a sassy teddy bear, and the hero is a pop star. What makes this so bingeable is its incredible narrative efficiency. The story jumps through time, focusing on key moments Vivi has to change. Each time skip feels like a new self-contained mission. Keep the pace lightning fast and the story constantly fresh. You get satisfaction of multiple story arcs while the overarching plot builds to an epic conclusion. It's a sci-fi opera sprint with gorgeous action sequences and a killer soundtrack that will stick with you long after you're done. You can find this century-spanning epic on Prime Video and Roku channel. Let's get dark, really dark. Our number 8 pick is not for the faint of heart. It's a 10-episode descent into madness you will survive, not enjoy. This is Devilman Crybaby. Timid crybaby Akira Fudo merges with a demon to fight other demons, gaining immense power but keeping his human heart. What follows is, well, it's an apocalyptic, nihilistic, soul-crushing, emotional wood chipper. Here's the thing, you have to binge this show. It's not a recommendation, it's a requirement. The story is told at such a breakneck, whiplash-inducing pace that it's often described as a run-on sentence of trauma. There is no time to breathe, no time to process the escalating horror. Watching it weekly would be like taking a week-long break between punches from Mike Tyson. By watching all 10 episodes on Netflix at once, you experience the intended effect, a suffocating, overwhelming onslaught that mirrors society's collapse within the show. It's brutal, it's unflinching, and it will absolutely wreck you in the best way possible. Number 7, we have 8686. At number 7, we have a show that looks like a standard mecha anime, but is secretly one of the most powerful war dramas of the last decade. 8686. The Republic of San Magnolia claims to fight a bloodless war using unmanned drones. That's a lie. The drones are piloted by the 86, a minority group treated as less than human and sent to die. The story follows Lena, a privileged handler, safe in the capital, and Shin, the battle-hardened leader of the elite 86 Squadron. This 23-episode series is an emotional gauntlet. You will get to know the Spearhead Squadron. You will laugh with them. You will care for them so deeply, and then the show will remind you that this is a war and it will break your heart over and over again. The compulsion to keep watching comes from the powerful bond you form with these characters and the fragile long-distance relationship between Lena and Shin. With the god-tier soundtrack by Hiroyuki Sawano and an ending that is one of the most cathartic and satisfying payoffs in recent memory, this is a must-watch on Crunchyroll, Apple TV, or Google Play. Number 6, we have Death Parade. Ever wonder what happens after you die? According to our number 6 pick, you go to a bar and play air hockey to decide the fate of your soul. Welcome to Death Parade. This 12-episode psychological thriller has a killer premise. When two people die at the same time, they arrive at a mysterious bar where an arbiter forces them to play a game with their lives on the line. The games are designed to push them to their limits, revealing their true nature under pressure. The binge factor here is the perfect blend of episodic and overarching storytelling. Each episode is self-contained, high-stakes drama about a new pair of souls, so it never gets stale. But at the same time, a larger mystery about the arbiters themselves and the fairness of their judgment system slowly unfolds, making you desperate for the next piece of the puzzle. It's a show that makes you an active participant, constantly questioning the judgments and the morality on display. It's a thought-provoking and unforgettable binge you can find on Crunchyroll, Prime Video, and Apple TV. Alright, we're halfway through. If you're already adding these to your watch list, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button because we're about to enter the top 5 and things are about to get wild. Number 5, Baccano. Our number 5 spot goes to a show that is basically anime Pulp Fiction, a chaotic, non-linear puzzle box that absolutely demands to be solved in one sitting. Baccano. Set in the 1930s America, this 16-episode series has no main character. Instead, it juggles the stories of alchemists, gangsters, psychopaths, and a pair of idiotic thieves, all connected by an elixir of immortality and a fateful cross-country train ride. The story jumps between 3 different timelines, and watching it weekly would be an exercise in madness. This is the ultimate binge by necessity anime. You need to watch it all at once to keep the dozens of characters and plot threads straight in your head. But the payoff is immense. When you see how a tiny event in the 1930s leads to a bloodbath in 1931, the aha moment are incredibly satisfying. It's a constant ruckus, which is literally what Baccano means, of action, comedy, and violence, all set to a killer jazz soundtrack. Pro tip, watch the English dub. With the 1930s New York setting, it's plain wrong not to. Number 4, we have Hula Magi Madoka Magica. At number 4, the Trojan horse of anime, a show that it looks like one thing and then reveals itself to be something else entirely, something darker, smarter, and utterly brilliant. This is Hula Magi Madoka Magica. A cute cat-like creature named Kyubei offers middle schooler Madoka Kaname a single wish in exchange for becoming a magical girl to fight evil witches. It looks like your standard cutesy magical girl show for the first 2 episodes, and then episode 3 happens. The binge factor is one of the most effective and infamous plot twists in anime history. The show violently rips off its cheerful mask and reveals itself to be a dark psychological thriller that deconstructs the entire magical girl genre. You are compelled to watch and keep watching out of sheer shock, desperate to understand the horrifying reality of this world. At only 12 episodes, it is phenomenally dense, packed in more plot and emotional devastation than series 5 times its length. Binge watching is the best way to experience it, as the rapid-fire succession of horrifying reveals hits you with its full soul-crushing force. You can find this genre-defining masterpiece on Prime Video and Apple TV. Have you ever watched a show where every single episode ends on a massive cliffhanger that physically cannot stop watching? At number 3, we have Erased. Have you ever watched a show where every single episode ends on such a massive cliffhanger that you physically cannot stop watching? That's our number 3 pick, Erased. Satoru is a 29-year-old with the ability called Revival that sends him back a few minutes in time to prevent accidents. But when his mother is murdered, his ability sends him back 18 years into his 11-year-old body, giving him the chance to solve a childhood cold case and save everyone. This 12-episode thriller is the definition of binge bait. The weekly wait for new episodes was described by fans as emotional torture, and for good reason. The story is a heart-pounding race against time, filled by non-stop suspense and shocking revelations that make it impossible to put down. But it's not just a clever mystery. The emotional core of Satoru trying to save his abused classmate, Kaio Hinazuki, will have you completely invested. It's a perfect blend of sci-fi, mystery, and heartfelt drama that you can mainline on Prime Video and Apple TV. At number 2, our runner-up, Steins Gate. A runner-up is a legendary sci-fi thriller that perfects the slow burn structure. It's a show that asks for your patience and then rewards it with one of the most mind-bending, heart-wrenching stories ever told. This is Steins Gate. A self-proclaimed mad scientist and his friends accidentally invent a time machine out of a microwave that can send text messages to the past. That they start messing with the timeline for fun, only to attract the attention of a shadowy organization and trigger a cascade of horrific consequences. The binge factor of Steins Gate is the famous 2-act structure. The first 12 episodes are mostly slice-of-life comedy, establishing the characters and their quirky daily lives. Some people call it slow. They're wrong. It's an investment, because right at the halfway point, the show flips on a switch and transforms into a relentless paced, dark, and desperate psychological thriller. Binge watching allows you to push through the first half and immediately experience the explosive payoff, making the tonal shift incredibly powerful. The emotional stakes built in the first half make the tragedy of the second half absolutely devastating. It's a 12-episodic masterpiece of pacing and causality that you can find on Crunchyroll and Apple TV. And now, the number 1 spot, the single best short anime you can and absolutely should find this weekend. At number 1, we have Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Taking our top spot is a 10-episode shot of pure unadulterated adrenaline, heartbreak, and visual splendor. The perfect modern binge watch. It's Cyberpunk Edge Runners. In the hyper-capitalist dystopia of Night City, a street kid, David Martinez, gets a powerful military-grade implant and is thrown into the deadly world of mercenary outlaws, or Edge Runners. This show is a masterpiece of efficiency. In just 10 episodes, it tells a complete, blistering, and tragic story that many viewers report finishing in a single sitting. There is not a single wasted second. The momentum is relentless, but it's anchored by a powerful and sincere emotional core. The relationship between David and his netrunner partner, Lucy, this makes the explosive, gorgeously animated action from Studio Trigger more than just eye candy. Every bullet, every sacrifice has weight. The ending is absolutely devastating, but in a way that feels narratively perfect and earned, leaving an impact that will stay with you for weeks. It's a show so good it single-handedly revived the video game it's based on. It is, without a doubt, the definitive weekend binge, streaming exclusively on Netflix. And there you have it, 10 perfect shows to fill your weekend. From rom-coms that hit you in the feels to sci-fi epics that will break your brain. There's something here for everyone. What did you think of our list? What's your go-to weekend binge anime? Let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another deep dive into the best of anime. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think it's time for a Steins Gate rewatch. Seemlytuber out. Peace.